the mixed damage of the Tristana.
I was going to say, right, you got mixed damage of Tristana, but mainly it's an AP source that actually fills the role because, you know, we got Kai'Sa bot side that has usually just been AD all in as we get a front to...
Juhan making his way to the top side here, though. The Antonio's quite far pushed in. Oscarinin won't get this collapse before Juhan's here.
Ooh. Dodges as well. He gets grass. That's a good trade. Antonio is going to get the knock-up as well. A great searing charger. Bellows breath. A bandage toss and wait for the first blood. Great timing. Juhan gets on the board.
The Antonio holding...
Juhan coming in. Do you ult the Antonio ult? There's a huge amount of CC that can come your way, and kind of one get out of jail free card doesn't really cut it in this.
Nice little bit of macro coming in from GIANTX there. You see the Antonio securing a wave crack.
Oscarinin, meanwhile, on the top lane, that's a big CS lead, and I know there were a group of people up there before that forced Oscarinin towards the turret, but he's doing well. There's now Fnatic trying to do well here too. There's the Weaver's Wall. Juhan's going to get locked in place. He's got a Curse of the Sad Mummy. He pops it and he flips over. It hits two and makes a quick trade. But guess who's here to benefit? Jackies picks up the kill versus Razork. Great for GIANTX, also getting the flash.
You just don't have the damage in that
side lane play as the game goes on as well, and now any cross map that they decide to opt into, they will win because of the tower damage.
And this is what so many teams have done, is opt into that cross map as soon as they get the 5 grubs. And you can see Fnatic going for it at the moment, which is, hey, we just push faster. Cool, we're going to rotate our bot lane up to this top side, try and play for a couple of those plates before they disappear, and just use the fact that we have an advantage. But now TP coming in behind Fnatic.
Deep. Jackie's there, not spotted yet. He gets ulted, beat buffers onto Humanoid, gets the rocket damage down. And Patrick roamed up for that. I mean, GIANTX so far, really not afraid of pulling the trigger.
Every single time it's down, they don't do anything. But when it's up, they start making plays because it's a really long cooldown. And Mumu's ultimate's really impactful. So 150 seconds, I just looked it up. And that play with the teleport, really nice.
Well, at least in the meantime, Fnatic aren't trading for nothing, right? They're not losing anything for something, as Jun might be caught out, as I say. That quickness is there. Weaver's Wall zones off nothing. It just gets Humanoid a little bit closer, but Juhan gets 2-man ulti. A double TP erupts in the topside jungle. The Antonio's here first, but he's taken so much damage as Oscar in a choke is doing work. The Call of the Forge God does more, though, and Jackie's cleans it up. Oscar had a great idea, but no one from Fnatic was ready to go in. As over the wall, Jun may have made another mistake. He's against the wall. He can't get out. GIANTX looking for the searing charge, get the flash out of Humanoid. And GIANTX is a 5-man crew. Yes, they're
so
low,
messy,
but they've gotten more so far. The mess continues, and Dagda, get ready for this one. We're going to need a bib. Humanoid takes down the Antonio, and Fnatic fight back.
The extended play evens out the score, but at the start, Oscarinin had a great idea.
Actually went down. Also, Fnatic willing to kind of re-engage and find that pick, commit flashes too. So I think a really intelligent point is that this comp still feels like it revolves a lot around Juhan as he gets the dragon here. Look, GIANTX at the end were able to trade evenly. They've got 2 dragons, and they've got a 3-0 Tristana. I feel like Jackie's is again in a position to succeed. It's just all about how they can move into this mid-game, and we talk about how Jackie's can't get caught out in this game, no way.
I will say, I completely agree with you. The gold allocation for GIANTX is really nice. Jackie's is incredibly strong right now, and what they're doing with that is putting him in side lane and then shadowing him, strong-siding him in the side lane to be able to use that tower-taking potential and split push. Oscar can't really do anything about it.
I do think they messed up the assignments, though. I think Jackie should be on top side right now because they want to try and play for at least Rift Herald and Control. Because you've got 5 Void Grubs, Fnatic have the push advantage, and they're playing on the side that has the Rift Herald available. So you've lost 1 tower, half of your top tower, and now Rift Herald about to be taken, can be plonked in mid and take that structure as well.
And I feel like if you're looking towards the bottom side as well, Dagda, further to your point, because of this lane allocation, K'Sante gets a bit of free time as well. That turret should be dropping down. They're struggling to defend top because the Antonio is just getting battered by a bunch of bits of land. He has to get out of there with set piece of wall as well as Jun has the quickness. So, okay, ipso facto, there is a bit of a trade while Razork goes on in, but won't find the ulti on Ignite, nor does he want to throw it.
And this is the power of the grubs, right? Now top lane is 1 demolish proc away from being secured. Oscarinin is going to get bot tower as well. With all this tower damage, it's incredibly
hard. Is used for the time being. I like that you guys are still talking about the grubs. I mean, for the past couple of patches, grubs have really started to rule all. Remember when we came in and we're like, Void grubs are okay. Then they buffed it to make more lights, and maybe now it's going to be better. He's stuck on the spot. He can W over after flashing, but I mean, Razork, all we need is a cooldown and a grand entrance at that as well. A shutdown to Humanoid. Dagda, don't say it. Dagda,
you said it.
You said it's happening.
You said it earlier.
You said it's happening.
Jackie's getting caught in the side lane every time. Just when GIANTX need him to step up and be that carry, he overextends a little bit too far. Fnatic collapse, and now they're going to get that top turret that you were asking for, Aragon.
Jackie's was sitting on a ward that entire time, and Razork played it really well as an actor. He walked downwards like he didn't know, instantly turned around, snapping engages onto Jackie's.
Especially with Dragon now in a minute's time, it feels like GIANTX with Jackie's now in a position to push in top, can contest first, but here,
yeah, let's see if it hurts him. I mean, this is a pinch. Look at the Weaver's wall. They can only go up, and Ignar's against the wall as he comes on in. The quickness brings them together. No one won't get a route back though, but Oscar's position is so damn handy. Onto Patrick, he can't move. He has to flush over the wall, but Juhan, a one-man ulti, brings it back. It's a two-man knockup from Antonio, brings it around. The top laner of GIANTX probably saved the rest of that play from being much worse.
And I was really questioning this choice of fight from the beginning. I guess you want to flex that 2-item advantage on the Taliyah, but Sejuani had no ultimate. They just made that play onto Jackie, so it was really, really odd. I wonder why they didn't just wait for the next Dragon Spawn.
Also, Noah wasn't there. Noah was still coming out of base, and you could see, like, Ignar just kind of sat in the pit and was like, cool, but hang on, it's the Antonio.
How much trouble?
Andrew's going to do a lot of work now. He's able to hop out.
2 items on the AD carry. Jackie's. Can he free hit? That is the question. There's a lot of threats to worry about. This 3-man core of the Taliyah, Sejuani, Rakan has so much CC potential.
Well, the Forge God starts it off onto Oscar in the core. The Forge God's in the backline instead. Oscar takes up a lot of damage with the Fearing Charge. Antonio, he debuts in a big way. The feathers fly out, but GIANTX already have the pick. Fnatic are sent packing, and man, I swear, this guy has gone from 0 to hero this split, and I just love the story.
And it's a huge ultimate.
That's an MSI.
Yeah, I think it's just how they've entered into fights in a lot of situations for Fnatic has been, hey, yes, we can find this engage, but we're not really thinking about how our carries can be set up to follow up.
Right.
Speaking of, Razork.
Yeah, he's isolated, but he's got members nearby. Juhan thinking about using the ult, but he walks through as he gets ulted himself. He might have to pop it now. There's the Weaver's wall following through. Juhan gets zoned away. The difference is Antonio's here on the counter play, gets the Ornn Forge God set on up as a searing charge with a pillar out. His goal, but Juhan flies in and makes some weep, but a route back is great. Now Fnatic can play front to back. A counter after counter after a counter, and Fnatic have stopped counting with the play one.
This time GIANTX throw everything onto the tanks, so when they try to follow up, there's just not enough bully Fnatic back, and now should be able to get mid lane turrets.
Push in, Antonio now groups in as well. Remember, he's got that ulti available. They've got one grub themselves, that helps out, and push comes through. Gold is even yet again. A minute until that Dragon Gents, and I think it's an item check-in time, right? We've got 3 items here on Jackie's, importantly. On the Tristana is, no, don't do it again! Jackie, stop it! On a ward, he spotted out, he continues to back, he gets the ult. Maybe it's a bait as Razork has to push back instead. This time, we were lured in. Jackie's gonna reposition here as Call the Forge God from downtown layers up, and Jun's in trouble, Noah's in trouble. The bandage shot brings big trouble, and a shutdown goes to the Antonio. While in the backline, Ignar just rolls in and has thunderous blows for a cow. I mean, I'm sorry, Jackies, that time you baited me in hard.
Sometimes you should ask, not can I, but should I? And Razork has not done that this game. Goes and tries to engage on the Jackies, but Aragon, you said it, there is no follow-up there from the rest of the team.
They're trying to utilize the Sejuani engage plus the global Taliyah to jump off.
Dragon, though. How close can Fnatic bring it? Because, again, this would be soul for GIANTX. With this composition, they need to stop it.
Walking in through this choke is kind of difficult.
Jackie's caught out. Is he dead? Yes, he is. There's the shutdown. Fnatic open up with a bang, and GIANTX have to wonder where it went wrong. Juhan dead as well. I mean, that is a mistake you can't make.
That ward over there doing a lot of work.
Yeah.
Trying to walk through that choke point is incredibly difficult. Through the Taliyah rocks, through the one-shot potential of the CC from Taliyah and Sejuani.
Okay, under turret, the Antonio has to flash as well as Fnatic look for that tier 1. Remember, GIANTX have the Baron, so it makes it harder to push, but with that pick off, Fnatic have got a bit of tempo in their stride.
They're trying to just cut them away from the...
He can bomb through it. Ulti's going to come through. The Antonio looking for the knockup. He does find it underneath turret. Knocks Jun a second time through the loop. He doesn't get tagged away as Razork over the wall once again, but the turret still standing. It depends how much time GIANTX have as Jun needs to get out of there quick smart, but the turret still forces Patrick off the back end. Some star power sprinkled into the mix.
Still, Fnatic want to see if they can at least get some damage onto this top lane turret.
I hate to be a cop-out, but I mean, when you talk about experience, you know, ways to come back in the mid-game, how you play the mid-game overall, which I feel like is the hardest part of League of Legends. You can argue
that's
that water
bolstering 20 degrees sometimes.
Well,
yeah.
Look, you might not be used to it, but that's,
yeah,
it's a roller coaster. It's like a water slide, you know. Yeah. And for me, I feel like it's going to get real sloppy as now Fnatic try to pick onto Ignar. They force out the ulti, but the Immuno ult sets it up, but no one's there. Antonio gets his ult a little bit later, but Ignite now has to flash away. They rely on Patrick and Jackies to hit it up as the Antonio gets some flashes out in the meantime. A couple of summoners from Fnatic used, no flashes, but a cleanse, a heal, but still an ultra win here as they consider to set up again. Ignite, brother, what are we doing? Okay, well, that is grade A Wagyu beef.
And the entirety of Juhan's Champion's kit and Mumu is countered by Noah's cleanse spell. He engages, doesn't land the Q onto Noah, but Noah just cleanses the ultimate anyway, and in the end, the free hit onto Juhan. It's just too much for GIANTX.
And on that point, you full send it as well, but you got a cleanse available too. I know that's down for the time being, but another tool added into the kit as Fnatic have really grasped back this game, it feels like. Dragon feels a lot more competitive. The ults feel competitive from Razork as he sends it out again, gets some AoE damage onto Patrick, but Ignite with the reignite, the reset-up, gives Antonio a target. Curse of the Sad Mummy as well onto Oscar. He can't move either. Onto the Antonio Razork. It's an on! What are we doing there? Fnatic lose it all, and GIANTX are blowing my mind a bit.
GIANTX, they decide we can't dive the Xayah. Let's just kill Jun. We knock up the Celestial opposition, and they one-shot him, CC him to death. He just has a Warmog, so...
Noah just keeps pulling them in from like the enemy fountain as Baron stuff.
But now GIANTX, they got the Dragon, that's soul. They get the Baron, and they'll be able to set themselves up significantly better now to try and...
It's a rougher game state now for sure.
It's really rough. A lot of your composition, you have so much single target burst. I keep saying this, but when they're so tanky that they live this kind of single target burst, the front to back becomes incredibly difficult afterwards. So I think Fnatic have a massive uphill battle.
GIANTX do need to try and sync up these waves though, because at the moment it's become very easy for Fnatic to kind of bounce back and forth between the two. The Antonio now on this top side. I was going to say Fnatic should be able to walk over, so there's no real wave on bot, but they're going to just give up mid. Juhan tries to engage on Tarosperinen, but just going to get a bit of poke.
Ignite?
Oh, the dive underneath. Hang on, Ignite jumps on in. GIANTX, so he's tanking up. Again, Mountain Dragon helps out, and Juhan's ult helps more. In their opening game of playoffs, they're taking down Fnatic. I mean, GIANTX, bigger than we thought, better than we thought. Fnatic out of options, it seems. There's 5 members with the Baron buff, look to go in, and Juhan gets another rune in. Hang on, mate. Hang on, brother. Hold your horses. That's a bit too far. Does it matter? Maybe it doesn't matter. You know what, Juhan, do it again.
They could just hit the towers.
They can just do it.
Oh my God.
Oh, the blow up as well. That's all they need. GIANTX.
And we have an Israel meet for Jackies.
Yeah, something we've already seen him play. Last time he had a mixed result, but...
Excuse me, it's just Jackies eating in.
Humanoid only just reset though, so that's huge, but bot side now.
The big wave as well. Let's see how they go through it. Acro Prison is flashed away. TP as well. Razork under turret. Ain't clean for now. He's getting 2v1. Razork, this series has been off his game.
But it's this wonder play as well. Razork, whenever he goes to these...
I don't know how we got those scrims, but we played the Cho'Gath Gnar matchup, and he absolutely decimated me.
Oh, yeah.
Regardless, he was always really good at his specific champions, is my point, right?
True.
He was fantastic on Cho'Gath, Ornn, these kinds of tanks. And now it's on him to play mitigation versus this.
Exactly that. I mean, under turret, he's cleared the way, but as he flashes away, even Humanoid comes on here. He's got no Bellows Breath to kite this one out, so a seismic shove makes it easy. Razork!
The
almost dying. Oh my God! Fnatic! What is going on? I mean, Oscar in and slow, he might be able to dive this. Antonio! He's dancing on him! Well, wait! Oscar, no! In the LVP matchup, the Antonio clubs him with a hammer. Meanwhile, bot, Fnatic are in tatters. They are getting destroyed by our bottom of the barrel we thought from winter. Now the Giants are back.
The barrier!
They stand strong.
The barrier!
And it's happening, bot. Just as I say it, man, GIANTX, why do you have to do me like that?
It's bloody down bot side, it's bloody up top side as well as Noah.
Dead. What?
The flash!
Makes it, okay, worthwhile 3-0 start.
This is the Euro. This is the Euros. Can we stop with the bloody dives? This is only for Patrick. Has his pot running. He's waiting for just enough health to finish off. But Oscar under the tower again.
I mean, it might not matter too much this time as the Olaf has his ulti available again with lifesteal with the Vampiric Scepter. He'll heal a lot, ladies and gentlemen, but Dak is telling me the Antonio has an ult up his sleeve if it gets dire.
The way this goes is this is best case scenario. I might have to hold that.
Yeah,
the
you might
engage comes
have
down.
to because again, tidal wave, double bubble as well. Juhan, the ulti not going to be used this time around as Jackies moves on down. I'm not sure if it's available again. Question marks on the corner as Bandage shots to get away, but a good pick from Fnatic to restabilize what this
wave.
Starts on up. I mean, GIANTX, they seem clear to take all 3 grubs left over here. Fnatic trying as culling. Zones out. Juni's going to dredge line to the wall after taking half his HP. Humanoid thinking about it with the Weaver's Wall now in action. Jackie's going to sit behind range as the Aqua Prison doesn't hit, but Juhan does. Curse of the Sad Mummy sets up so the Humanoid has to sit there and die. Jun now getting outranged as the Antonio and Ornn. This third pick red side again, man. He's just doing it better.
But every time Fnatic are taking these fights when they just don't.
Mid-jungle, how they move into the mid-game. They were a very bloody team, but they also felt like their individual micro was carrying them through. And to use less fancy words, there's just been sloppy mistakes as Humanoid takes a true shot barrage.
Ooh, Razork?
He's going to try. I mean, he's been flying over the ulti. Actually hits as well. Nicely done. That's more like it. Patrick goes down. Noah gets the third kill. Dragon's going to be taken here, but now it's about how they get out as Razork with the flash available chooses not to
Also
chase.
wants to catch this wave and defend the turret, though.
You were saying, give it up. Fnatic are here, though. And as you said, the Olaf is there, so maybe a soft contest Aragon, to use your language.
The problem is you can't contest, and this is the nature of having no TP on your top laner. If you want to group, you have to decide way beforehand and have the TP-less top laner group preemptively to predict a potential TP from the enemy.
But I think that's the thing. Fnatic were kind of grouping up towards Riftchild to say, if we see the Antonio's teleport, cool, we can probably look for the 4v4.
Blessing forces the flash. Right before that said Dragon, 35 seconds. Razork, though, comes in with a flash. He's revived! Anomaly, no more. Noah with another kill, and Razork is starting
He's
to...
nowhere to be found.
Yeah, they find the pick, but they do have Hextech portals, so he can make it back in time. Jun might be caught out.
I mean, it depends. Humanoid as well. His angle after the TP is great. He gets the seismic shot back, but he's also stunned. He flashes in a straight line, takes the damage as Juhan's just on top of him.
Oscar.
Meanwhile, Oscar's cleaning up. Ragnar Lothbrok returns as Jackie tries to get the angle, but he can't get the damage. Juhan knocks back, and we're in the slop again. But Fnatic have one thing for certain. They've got their Dragon in their sights to stop the stacking.
And the Zeke's Ravenous Hydra, Olaf, Oscar in the backline, managing to drain tank all three people. I think Solar on the analyst desk talked about
Separation here for Fnatic to take topside turret. Remember, they got some grubs as well. And after that play, after stopping the Dragon, but they're going to get an inner top.
And maybe this is exactly what Fnatic needed. Don't put Oscar in on a tank. Don't put him on Cassante. Give him Olaf. Give him a counter pick where he can scale in isolation.
He came in, or rather, Winter was good. Winter playoffs was a bit down. I mean, it's been a mixed bag, right? Oscar's got a lot of conversation starters here as Fnatic at least get mid-turret. And I'm talking about him because he's on the way to third item as he moves bot.
But the thing is, he's not alone. Noah is just as large. Like 4 kills on the device, 2 items already completed. Noah is a force to be reckoned with, and we're about to find out.
The pick again, Razork sets it on up, and the slow means you can't leave. Zeke's conversion stops it. Juhan gets an ulti out, but he's immune. Ragnarok has come as Razork gets poked out by Patrick, but it's not enough damage. Inner turret drops down again. Fnatic are getting these gold trades. Well, Jackie's is trying to side lane on this Ezreal.
Fnatic are finding all the gold in the tier 2 turrets, and GIANTX on the opposing side are trying to funnel Jackie's as much as possible. They know they need gold on this carry to be able to
head towards this objective. Now spawned. Humanoid set up in position as well. Dredgeline comes out. Razork's ulti almost eat into by the Arcane Shifters. The smack back from Humanoid was bloody brilliant. Juhan gets a great ulti, but he can't do too much because Oscar's on top of him. Noah's cleaning out. He goes in the back line himself, and Humanoid is there to defend. Fnatic have returned, they've risen, and they are sick of this battle for game 2.
Noah opens up like a shotgun into the back line of GIANTX, destroys Jackie and Patrick thanks to the help of Humanoid, and just like that, Fnatic found their window. They're going to end the game.
They find the one shot onto Ignar rather. Noah dives the backline. Oscar in and tanks all 5 of them. It's absolutely insane how much work this Olaf is doing.
And it's one decisive move as Noah takes yet another. And the game is over. 24 minutes. We see a game 3, and we see Fnatic finally.
By these big front-to-back fights, or even the series as a whole, where it has been more of, hey, we're going to find these quick picks and find these moments where we can catch people out, and I think that's where Fnatic really do thrive.
Juhan, the earliest Dragon start I think I've seen in this patch and last patch combined. Like, no one prioritizes it much anymore, but an early Dragon down to GIANTX to open up the game.
Yeah, because of the mismatch Dragon and Grub timers that have been introduced, Juhan can actually walk up to topside and potentially contest the Grubs as well.
W. Oh, good dodge. Nice
Juhan
dodge.
now starting to move up. We'll spot out that Razork has already started these white grubs. He's taken 1 so far. There goes the second one. Can he get the third? Okay, there's this snipe away.
Nice.
So this is a direct result as I'm...
The flash commit. I mean, Humanoid's here as well. He has his own flash. He matches over the wall and he's level 6, so he's got a rocket right out of the pocket. There's first blood. Humanoid nails him down.
Tries to contest the Grubs after securing the Dragon because of the mismatched spawn timers. but they find the collapse onto him. Humanoid has the push and the priority now. Antonio might be dove.
I mean, there might be a seismic shove out. Antonio's trying to clear the wave. He flashes back on him, but the damage from Corki is nuts. And man, Fnatic have been scaling into this series now with Humanoid starting 2-0.
To come in for a team fight with all your ultimates available.
They have a lot of damage here. Oscarin has built AED and Razork's base damage is huge. Can they
big
stun?
Wave. If he dies here, it's going to be a disaster. Without TP, a clean dive. Oscar already 2 plates. Demolish will make a third with Grubs. Guys, this Poppy is going to be the father of top this game.
And Juhan needs to try and find an answer elsewhere. You can see him moving down into this bottom side, but trying to dive onto this is going to be so difficult. Level 7, full health. This is going to be tough.
Barrier up as well. Noah is really tanky here.
Really is. He can buy some time. The Magnus Storm under turret, though, as Ignar is tanking up for the time being, but Noah takes a while to die. Ignar has no health bar to play with, and Juhan now either. Jun is at half HP as there's a Vault Breaker in. He flashes, Shattering Strike, counter plays as an auto there, and Patrick's tanking up under turret. He has to flash away. It works in the end. However, scattered
he
it
can't TP down to the Dragon if he wants to. So this is going to be naturally a Fnatic-free Dragon, as Oscar can TP if he likes.
I feel like with the TP as well, doesn't that mean Grubs is an easy transition?
Yep.
Fnatic, what do you think? Like Razork, he's got his mana back, True Shot Barrage.
Pushed in mid, but look at where Juhan is. He immediately reads this, trying to get down to the bottom side. That ward at the bottom will spot out the Juhan's here, though.
Waiting for the Pyroclasm come through. Unbreakables up first.
Pings are coming down. There's a TP coming down in that tri-bush.
That's fine.
Jackie's is going for it.
Jun hit level 6 just then, though, so he's got the Magnus Storm. He turns it back on a 10. The Pyroclasm unleashes hell. Noah free fires as Juhan is now down without a doubt, and Noah stands in front, ready to take him out. Razork will chase him down, and man, that quick 6 from Jun off the back of the minion wave, I think that just gave GIANTX the biggest slap in the face I've seen.
And Ignar tried to push that way too far, tried to engage after everyone, but with the engage opened up a ton of pressure for Fnatic where they want now. Jackies will respond, at least with some time on this bottom side to get a turret. But when you've got a minute and a half until that next Dragon, I feel like that's where Fnatic are looking.
I mean, the biggest problem I see right now is that that's not we're good at our jobs.
I mean, with tower going down here, it's just impossible really for GIANTX to even look at this Dragon. Fnatic just have full control. They can't as where anyone Fnatic is.
Yep.
Now they're going to use Rift Herald on boss. The Antonio trying to clear the way, but I don't think it's going to matter.
Not.
Yeah.
Really not. Herald gets the charge regardless. The pillar won't stop that and enables Humanoid to come up and hit still with 2 Grubs. The family brought thanks to Shelly as well. That goes back into the rift. I mean, Inner goes down. Mid is the trade-off. Noah's in trouble. He's going to get stunned up as well. The duo out of GIANTX trying to keep it alive. They've had a good game so far, and why should that end now?
They need to make things happen on the map for GIANTX, especially when Fnatic are getting so much on the bottom side, but Noah taking that step too far forward, and just like that, now GIANTX have the numbers advantage that they want for the Dragon. Will be a lot of gold that's gone over into Fnatic, but at least GIANTX still continue to stack up these objectives.
And I will say something else that GIANTX are doing really well is their
ward coverage slim, and when Baron's up in a minute as well, this is going to work in Fnatic's favor as Juhan comes in with a flash of cease and desist, but Noah ults out, and everyone says go! TP's down, Ignar timing the ult perfectly as the Magnus Storm.
The ult,
oh my god! And it's a Disco Inferno! Razork burn, baby burn! And GIANTX have to turn and leave.
Jun with the sick ultimate, bringing them all in, and the 4-man brand passives as well. Huge AoE damaging coming out from the side of Fnatic.
And they just rinse them. It looked somewhat good for GIANTX, but Ignar couldn't get in range for the follow-up on the Vi ultimate, and immediately Fnatic see their shot. Mid lane tower now goes down, and it's going to take that just yet.
Yeah, and I mean, this entire time, I feel like GIANTX are pressured because they haven't farmed. I don't remember the last time Juhan farmed a camp down bot side on the side of Oscarin, and he's falling further and further behind. And now Fnatic take re-control of topside.
Yeah, and this is where I was talking about bring in Oscar in, because wave in mid is Fnatic. You can immediately jump onto that top wave, like look for the tier 2 and try and draw GIANTX completely out. So Fnatic looking to get the poke, but they're not getting the land.
Isn't it just going to be the fight for the game, though? I mean, the tension's high. Winner goes through and has a date with Destiny, with SK, it feels like, and it's called the Forge God flies through. It's GIANTX who pull the trigger onto Oscar. He's isolated, but a re-engage from Jun brings him back on in, and with the brand ult out, again, they're burning, but wait a minute. GIANTX have bought time. They've got Patrick free firing, and flies are falling down as Humanoid starts carrying again. Noah flies through, and the carries of Fnatic are too far ahead. GIANTX But the lanes have been rough in the top side of the map this game, as Razork might be the big wait. It's never over till the Nexus falls. Antonio, no! In a game 3, he needed that to hit his Ignite. Now gets away. Jun, the Magnusson forces the flash over the wall, but Oscar Renan is going to close the gap. A double kill picked up. Noah's setting himself up, and Fnatic will take that every day of the week.
It was a scramble. It was desperation from GIANTX. But the execution be completely decimated off this push.
GIANTX trying to stop the siege before it even happens with the snap engage from the one-item buy, but they don't do the damage.
Who's revived himself, 13 out of 14 kill participation in this game. He's been everywhere on the map, and it's maybe not.
I'm still like, let's look at game 1 and game 2, right?
Yep.
So I think there's
All
still
of the
answers,
TP.
and now the TP behind.
I mean, this is the last resort, isn't it? Call the Forge God is available, but the turret is gone. With Baron, Fnatic push on in as here we go, a lock up, a lockdown. Razork goes golden, the searing charge. That's great, it's a good engage. The damage has been done, but for Fnatic, they still stand strong, and Razork is going to burn them alive again. Noah flies through this 4-item Kaiser just about, and now the final deed to be done. GIANTX had faith, they had belief, they had the game in the palm of their hands, and Fnatic rose to the occasion. It's only round 1 of playoffs, but Fnatic were tested, but they brought the fire. We asked, did G2
wait a
win them?
minute.
Let's find out, because the game's not over, but hey, at least the Nexus is bare. There's a shutdown over to Patrick, and maybe, just maybe, the game goes a little bit longer, but it still feels so hopelessly doomed as Fnatic holds such a big margin.
To look forward to, especially if the teams that are in that bottom half of the table are still trying to fight. But now fight for Baron is not going to happen. It's gone already.
There's good damage from Baron, though. They're going to try and find the Miracle Fight as Antonio gets the knockup. But ladies and gentlemen, don't forget that bottom wave as it channels in. They're going to be quick about it. Jun gets the Magnus Storm, finds Patrick off the back end as Noah cleans house, goes golden, and finds a perfect pick. Oscar gets him up against the wall. Fnatic, it's getting messy. Jackie's runs in, gets a massive shutdown, goes golden. Fnatic need to clean it up. They do eventually, as Antonio will be up next. It had me worried, gents, I'm not going to lie. But the gold's too big, and as they teleport in, we finally get our resolution in this round 1.
GIANTX tried to pull the trigger onto the support to create numbers advantage, but Oscar Renan is just too huge.
Yeah, he has had a great game, a great series overall, and Fnatic fight back. I was going to ask you, did G2 break Fnatic? Well, at least now the curse seems to be broken in round 1 as they